What is going on, Walten Files fans, and welcome back to another interview with the Walten Files team. And we are here with the creator himself, Martin Paredes. What's going on, dude?
Hello, hello. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for having me on.
Of course, dude, of course. Of course, Martin is the creator of the Walten Files, the man behind all of our nightmares, I would like to say. So we have a few questions both from me and of course from some of the fans as well. I put into my Discord some questions that they might
Oh,
want to ask you and stuff because I think it's always interesting to get other people's perspectives and stuff. So
yeah,
it's
of
gonna
course.
be interesting. So we're gonna kick it off straight away, and yeah. But before we start, do you have anything to say, Martin, or anything at all?
I'm just gonna say I'm really honored to be here. I think well, me and Cal have spoken a lot before, and I think I really don't see this as like, oh, the creator and this other channel. I really enjoy your videos. I really enjoy watching you. I think you are someone who really represents the fandom in a good way. Like you really bring a voice to everything, to every theory, to every single discovery, and you help us keep the series alive within like all the fucking all the fucking like oh my god, I'm sorry for the spelling, but like the all the hiatus and all the delays, you keep it everything alive and you keep the fandom happy with all the stuff that you make. And with the project that you're making now, it's just so lovely. I'm really honored to be here.
Dude, like, I mean, it's weird because like we're just friends now. It's
Yeah,
like
we are, but it's really good.
before it was like, oh my god, Martin's in my channel now. Oh my god, and I was like, yeah, me and Martin are friends now.
It's like the pipeline of like there's always people that when they don't know me they think I have everything figured out and everything like that, and then when they know me it's like, oh, it's just like an insane old guy. Okay, all right.
All
Oh my
right,
god.
so we'll kick off with a very interesting question. I actually like would love to know, which is just in general, what inspired you to make the Walton Falls? Was there kind of like anything that kind of got you to kick on to go, I'm gonna make this series and this is where the approach I'm gonna go around this? So what kind of like spiraled that?
I think there's a short answer to that and just a long answer to that. I think the short answer is it's just a VHS fever
Mm.
at the time. It's
Mhm.
really simple, but like I think, well, at first when I first started like doing anything with Bond, it was just a FNAF fan game,
Mhm.
and I didn't really know that stuff revolving filmmaking, making videos, series, whatever was my thing. I used to want to be a games programmer, so I really wanted to tell the story throughout a game.
Mhm.
And when I realized I sucked at that, that it wasn't my thing, I was like, well, what can I do with this? So I did try to make like a book about my fan game, but it didn't
Mhm.
work.
Yeah.
And then I started like noticing how many cutscenes I had, how many like extra footage, small animation stuff like that I had. And I also started noticing that there was a lot of fever going around these like local 58 inspired videos. So I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, maybe I can do that. So at first it was sort of just like I feel really bad about canceling my game, so I'm just gonna have like everything that I worked on be showcased in a video. And then it sort of started transforming into like oh, maybe I could add some more story to it, some little small things to tie everything together, until I realized like I'm just gonna make a whole new series from scratch. I think that's a much better approach.
Mm.
And it sort of just happened. I mean I didn't expect it to go anywhere. I wanted to sort of just have my characters be in something like that, and I made the Ultimates one with very little duration on what to do. There wasn't much of an approach yet. I think it was
Yeah.
sort of like a testing of sorts, and then with the Waterfalls 2, you can sort of realize that there's something more going on, a lot more realized story with that one.
Mhm. Definitely. And then you created the best character of all time, Brian Stells. I mean, like, literally the
I
best. I
fucking
know.
love Brian Stone. Thank you.
The greatest character of all time, chat. Every
I
person.
did you know I wanted to voice Brian for a long time, but
Really?
I was still young. Yeah, I was still young, and my voice just wasn't there for it. Like
Mm.
if you talk to me in 13, I would have talked like this. I was still really young, so it wasn't working. So I got a friend that I met on like a FNAF VHS server.
Mm,
to do it for me,
that's
and I think they
awesome.
did a really yeah.
Bring back Brian. Hashtag it.
Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows?
But yeah, no, I remember like a little fun fact. I remember like when the Walton Falls like first dropped. I remember specifically I found out about the Walton Falls like through MatPat naturally. And I remember my first ever Instagram reel was me, and I literally remember doing this. It was the first time I ever done anything, and it was like the start of the Walton Files. Like, you know, when, like the Bonds Burgers logo comes up,
Yeah.
and you have to like do 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 do, and like it's the start of that, and you just then all of a sudden I remember like recording my voice underneath like my bed cover, going, "Well, no, I have nightmares for 3 months now," and it was just the first episode, and I'm gonna see if I can find the official, like the actual
I
official
had no
reel.
idea about that.
I will find it. It's like it's the most devious Cal lore drop you'll ever hear because my voice is just completely
Insane.
different. I'm like 13, I think, or something. I don't know
Oh yeah,
what.
it's been what? It's been like 5 years since like you made
Oh,
that video. It's been a
that's
lifetime. Oh my god,
insane! Holy shit!
insane.
What? I was 13 when Mortal Falls
Yeah,
1 came out, and I'm turning 20 this year. Oh god, it might be.
insane.
It might be over, chat. It might be over.
It might be over. It might be completely over.
um, But yeah, this is actually a really interesting question. I mean, everyone's gonna know my answer to this one for my like responses. Like, for episode 5 and 6, who are you most excited for fans to see? Whether it's someone we've been introduced to before that's gonna have a different approach to their writing style or their overall archetype, or is it gonna be someone else? Who are you most excited for people to see?
I think I'm really careful when
Yeah,
going about like
naturally.
5 and 6
Uh
because
huh.
like it's less of a thing of like spoilers. I just don't wanna
Mhm.
hype everything too much. Like I
Yeah.
feel like with how little breadcrumbs you guys have of what's coming,
Mm.
it's also a little bit like if I say something, you're all gonna be like, oh, this episode centers about them, and it's like
Yeah.
I think solely because of the impact they left on me, it's gotta be Rose and
Mm.
Vaughn. I feel like well with Rose, she's my favorite human character of them all. I think
Mm.
it's the one I relate to the most.
Mhm.
I think because especially in this episode, I feel like there's a lot of depth to what's going on and a lot of she go she her the way her character is, I think gives us a very relatable type of struggle.
Mhm.
And with Bond, it's more of like just I think Bond is just the embodiment of the evolution of the series.
Yeah, for
Because well,
sure.
you know how it was like in like episode 2 where it was just like uh Shadow Man sees me and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And now well, me and Eva are the ones that take care of like most of the stuff when it comes to drawing Bond, to writing
Mhm.
him, and like um we put so much care into it. Like every single line he has, every single little action he does, we put tons and tons of care into it. So I hope every single one of you overanalyzes it when it comes out, because no, yeah, it's just it's very simple, but it's a character that I feel is the one we've been most careful about
Mhm.
building, and just we wouldn't we wouldn't have done Bond the right way if the way he thinks, the way he acts didn't make complete sense to us. Like we needed to have that completely realized.
Yeah.
And so I'm really excited for people to see what we do with him. I think he's a really peculiar
Mm.
villain. I think it's not what you expect from a character like him.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that.
I think just in general, it's difficult to write a villain nowadays. In general, I mean,
Oh, absolutely.
like, because no matter what you write, it's gonna be, oh well, that's kind of similar to this character, and that's kind of similar to this character, and you're kind of like, okay,
Yeah.
how do I go about writing this? And of course, with like something like the Walton Files, no matter what, you're gonna have people who are gonna theorize, oh, who's Shadow Man, who's Bond, who's this, who's that, naturally, and
Oh yeah,
so
absolutely.
I mean, I totally have never ever done that in my years of YouTube. I've never once predicted who Bond is gonna be. I've never once said that. But I mean, naturally, I think it's gonna be really interesting to see like how Bond develops from episode 4 to like to 5 and then 6, because I mean,
It's a really good progression. I think
yeah,
you guys are gonna like it. It's not the cra I'm not we're not writing a Shakespearean play with this. This is still just a fucking animatronic
Yeah.
horror series for YouTube.
Yeah, I
But
get you.
we're really proud of what we made with this character.
I'm so excited to see it, dude. I've always said that
I'm so
like
excited to show it.
that Susan scene in Cyberpunk Tech is like such a good scene. Like just the whole atmosphere of it all and everything, and then obviously the scene in Lacrimosa, with
Did you
the
know? Did you know, Cal, that that scene was just it was the first fully animated scene in the Walten Files?
sorry, what?
Yeah, it was the first fully animated scene we made because I wanted to have there be a more detailed version of the attack on Susan, the
Uh
attack
huh.
that Bond does on Susan, and we wanted to show it, but it was like how are we gonna do it if we have to stick to the analog sort of
Mm.
format, you know? So we kept thinking about it. I kept thinking about it. I wasn't as fully connected with the team at that time.
Mhm.
I was more sort of doing it on my own, and I remember thinking, oh, what if it's like a doll recreation, like with dolls and everything like that.
Mm.
And I started doing that, and I was like, I just want to do the actual scene, don't I? I started like coming to terms, like, oh, I just want this to be a cinematic series, don't I?
Yeah.
So that scene was actually the very first scene we animated, and it was sort of like a little experiment of it. It was an experiment of what we could do with this
That's
format, you know?
awesome. That's really interesting because, come to think of it, I do remember in one of the plush videos. Now I'm terrible with names. I remember it was the plush video about like the treasure chest,
Oh, the
and
very first one, yeah.
yeah, that one. And I remember, I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, Bond's scene in 4 when like Bond kind of hovers over Susan from like the bottom right hand corner. I'm pretty sure that scene was in that plush video as like a
Yeah,
sneak peek. Yeah.
we animated that scene around September 2021,
Mm.
and it released like 3 years later.
That's insane, dude. That's wild. Actually, to think about, like, I'm just like, yo, that's like you've had that in the in like the
Oh, thank
bro.
you.
I would have lost the footage. I would have 100% lost the footage.
Oh, don't worry, my team. Oh my god, dude, Cal, especially Coraline. They all tell me just you gotta back your shit up because it's so common that I lose everything. So common.
I'm so scared that like one day I'm gonna like about to like do the final edit for Stells and I'll just go, guys, it's all gone. It's all gone.
Oh my god, yeah, that's what you always need to back everything up. It's really important.
Oh, I'll actually cry. Oh my god, I wouldn't even know what to do to be honest. I think I'd just cry in the corner of my room. Um,
Oh my god.
speaking of animation now, I'm actually intrigued to see this. What has been your favorite scene to write or animate? If there's different answers, is there any specific scene that you were like, yeah, that's my favorite one I've ever written or drawn?
I think it's gotta be the scene that we're doing now.
Oh,
The Santa
okay.
Claus scene. It's not a crazy scene. It's not like, oh my god, this is the most insane motherfucking shit we've ever seen. But it's like it's a good scene. I think it's my favorite scene. I it wasn't even my idea. This scene. It wasn't my idea. It was someone else's. It
Mhm.
was his. And ever since I heard about it, I was like, oh, I like this scene. I think this scene feels very necessary
Mhm.
before finishing everything up. And so it sort of started evolving, transforming into what it is now. And I feel like it's this scene that we put the most care into.
Mhm.
Again, it's not like the oh my god, it all makes sense now. Oh my god, Brian is Bond, but like but it's a really fun scene. I think in a way story because we're storyboarding it right now. We're in like the last few shots of this
Mhm.
scene. Um, to me, when I storyboarded and when I written, it always felt like I was sort of like building up towards that scene. Like it wouldn't feel as rewarding to write
Mhm.
it and storyboard it if we weren't like if we didn't do everything else before that, you know.
Yeah,
So that's just been lots of fun, lots and lots of fun.
that's interesting. I mean, like, I think for me, my most intrigued thing about 5 and 6 is Charles. Of course, I mean, you know me and Charles. I'm just obsessed with Buzu's character. Um,
It's so good.
I'm very very excited to see like not even just like obviously the obvious scene that'll go down at some point, like just like the kind of the build up to it, I suppose, because naturally, I think most people like from Bunny Farm specifically, you can kind of get the gist of what goes on, and then kind of Hotline kind of shows some stuff as well. But I think just in general, there's a real intrigue about six because it's like this kind of I wouldn't say closing chapter, but like you know what I mean, like this kind of like okay, this is season one. You know, the closing chapter of season one, so I feel like
Yeah.
naturally six is gonna have this intrigue about it no matter what, and then five. I'm sorry, that five episode. Oh my god, the week apart, dude. That's crazy. That's so
Insane, dude,
insane.
absolutely insane. I think um when I first came up with what happens, the whole ordeal in
Mhm.
Charles, I feel like because when I made the Walton Falls 3, I actually didn't have it all figured out. I mean, you can see that there's hints as to what
Mhm.
happens, and I had like some basic outlines of like, oh, it should be like this, it should be like that, it should be like this, but I didn't know like exactly what um what would go down specifically, and I struggled a lot with that. I remember that in 2024 I had like an idea of what could happen, and it was so bad, Colin.
Really? How
Oh my god, yeah,
how
it was
bad are we
terrible.
talking?
We're talking about like hmm,
Hmm.
it feels like hyping something up, hyping something up only for it to be like really stupid, a really stupid way to die.
Okay, I get you.
And around 2022, I think July 2022, it's sort of an idea just came up in my head, and I was like, this is the one. So I wrote it down and I sent it to the VAs, and they were like, holy shit, we gotta do this. And I was like, of course, now looking back, years later, now that we've improved, it isn't as crazy of an idea, like
Mhm.
we've all sort of grown used to it at this point. What goes on,
Yeah.
but back then to me it was like, no, it has to be like that, and it has stayed like that. I mean, there have been a little tiny changes into how everything goes down, but I think we settled on something that kept us all satisfied for this
Yeah.
character.
That's cool. It's always nice when you kind of get like a kind of satisfactory feeling when you've written something, like especially when it concludes something. Like, because naturally, of course,
Oh
that
yes,
that kind of
conclusions are so hard
oh,
to make.
don't get me started, dude. Writing the ending of Stells, oh my god, it has driven me to the brink of death. I think at this point, but
It's really difficult because I think you really think, well, when you first begin a project, you're like, oh, I have all the time in the world to do all these fun things and everything. But then when you're near the end, it's like, oh, we have to wrap it up. How do you
yeah,
do that correctly? How do you wrap something up in a way that leaves you satisfied?
yeah, it's so difficult. Like, especially because like if we're talking about like we meet with Stells, because obviously Brian's story is kind of like it's like what like a 5 6 minute segment of episode one, if even like roughly. And naturally,
Mm,
it's like one of the things that like there's not much about it, so it's kind of like okay, what do I write here? What feels satisfactory? Like you know what I mean? Especially for something that doesn't
yeah,
necessarily exist at the moment. Like you get the whole vibe of like okay, he dies, but like what happens after that? You know, and especially with Charles, I mean, literally one of the main line characters, and trying to wrap that whole thing up, especially because, as you said, like with Bunny Farm, I've always found that Charles, ever since Bunny Farm, death wise, has been the most interesting, just because we haven't seen much of it. We haven't,
so intriguing.
you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I'm really intrigued to see that, and I'm just
I
in
think
general, yeah,
for us, we something that we kept into account a lot was like they know us at this point, the fandom, all of you guys know us. You know that we take a while with our stuff. So it's like they know that after 5 and 6 there's gonna be a while of time before we get to see these characters again. So how do you make that worth it? How do you make like
yeah,
that? I think now that we're near the end of like storyboarding, we all have this feeling of like, oh, we're saying goodbye to some characters where it's just, oh, it's just really bittersweet. It's like,
mm,
we really hope you guys like it. It's like every single time we wrote 5 and 6, knowing that it's the last two episodes of this season, we were like, we wanna, we don't wanna give you guys what you want. We wanna sort of like be very bold with what we do. And by bold, I don't mean like throw the whole thing away, throw everything we've been building up away.
Yeah.
We'd rather make decisions that we probably would have doubted back when we first started, but we feel these are natural
Hmm.
ways to go about this, natural choices that they make. But it's like it's like a hydrogen bomb in a way. It's like, will they like it? Will they not? And we sort of have that fear, but it's like, well, we're doing what we think it's a good send off for now, you know?
Mm. That's natural. I mean, as well because naturally there's going to be so much build up to the episodes. I mean, this isn't a little series we're talking about. It is like one of the biggest, if not the biggest. So I think
Oh my
naturally.
god, don't remind me. It's
I'm sorry. I'm
insane.
sorry, dude. I'm so sorry.
It's so funny. It's like, God, every single time I look at reels and I find like a Walter video, I'm like, just skip it. It's like, oh my god, how
That's
popular
just
it's
like
gone.
honestly like, but the thing is like, yeah, but it's also the truth, you know. Like it like numbers don't lie, broski. You know. But
God, fucking Hotline getting like 1 million views. I
the
made that in like 5 days.
dude, the
God,
fact I'm
back
the
in the day.
thumbnail of that is my pride and joy, and I will take that to the grave.
Yeah, insane.
My one
I'm still happy
appearance.
you accepted the cameo in Hotline.
Dude, you would have had to ask what I was smoking if I said no to being in Hotline. Okay, this question. I've said this to Coral, I think, 3 or 4 times. In terms of merch, not any merch for the future, but the merch that has already released, the makeshift ones. So you have like the 2 or 3 Bond plushes, the Buzu and
Yeah.
Shah, etc. Would there be any chance of a return of those plushies, or are they just gone and have my chances of getting a Buzu plushie withered into the mist?
Oof, it's really it's a complicated thing. I think like now I'm not fully caught up with everything's makeshift doing. Like
Mm.
we were I don't know if you remember, we were supposed to do like a launch
Yeah. Right. It was
around
2 more.
November, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I said no. I said no because I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling too good about it. I wasn't the best moment to do something like that, especially with the series and how slow everything was going
Yeah.
and some personal stuff. And Makeshift was just like the kindest people ever. They were like, "Oh, that's completely fine. There's no worry. You
Mm.
don't owe us anything. You just take your time and we'll resume whenever you feel comfortable." And I was like, "Okay, that's really nice of you."
That's awesome.
And interestingly, I feel like if I were to ask them about it, they probably would say yes. But I feel like there should be a lot of demand for them to re-release the
Yeah.
plushies,
I get
especially since we have a lot of plushies just like sort of like waiting in a little tiny Walton shelter to be released.
that.
A lot of some of them have spoilers for 5 and 6, so we're waiting for those
Yeah.
to release.
I have noticed
But
some of that.
yeah,
I remember you mentioned that. The large Bond one, right? The big, big Bond?
yeah,
Or
it has a little
yeah.
spoilers that we censored out.
That's interesting, dude. I think that's so interesting. Like the whole thing of like there's something in the plush that gives
Oh my
something.
god, there's something. God, I can't say it. I can't
I
say
can
it. But
hear it in your voice of you like wanting to but not wanting to at the same time.
yeah, I can because like it's so funny. Like again, it's not that these episodes are insane or anything, but it's like the most blatant spoiler ever in
Oh,
that
for
fucking plush.
it's just gonna be like you open Bond's chest. It's just oh, there's that person.
God.
Oh, I guarantee you, at one stage, whenever that plush releases, there will be someone who like won't know where the quote unquote spoiler is. They will cut open the stomach of the plush. I know it. It's something like that's gonna happen. I can just feel it. It's like,
My
oh, it has
God,
to
they're
be
gonna fucking gut him.
they're gonna gut it. They're gonna gut Bond. They're gonna find out how you get the
But
hole
yeah,
in the chest.
I think I could, if we ever are not able to release the Musa plush, I could just ask them, is there a chance we can send the Kobe to call?
Please,
Please, Walten,
please make
please,
shit. Please, I need this. No, shut
please,
up.
please, I need this.
Please. No, I'd actually do anything for a freaking Blue Zoo plushie, bro. I would. Oh my god, I need it. Like, I just need them so badly. I got my pumpkin rabbit one. That's like literally my pride and joy. I have that stacked up right beside the prosthetic
I
pawn
like that
arm.
plushie.
I love it, dude. It's so good. It's such a good plush. And then like the little pumpkin that comes on like the Velcro thing.
Yes, the tiny little pumpkin. I love that one.
Oh, it's so good. I'm obviously. I mean, you know me with the pumpkin rabbit. Like you know me.
Yes, of course, of course.
It's my goat. But yeah, make sure bring back Buzu, please. Like, please. Okay.
Makes you feel listening. Please, Walten,
Please,
please.
please.
We'll do anything.
This is actually a really interesting question because I mean, naturally it's a bit difficult as well, but this is put in my Discord. If you'd remake one, two, or three, or even four, is there anything you would change? Is there something like I'm assuming? I mean, I know how you feel about Bunny Farm, but like in general, would there be anything that kind of goes, "Oh, I wish I could have changed something about that scene or that animation or that drawing or
I think the only thing I would change about one and two would be the art style. Just make it like consistent with
yeah."
four, five, and six.
Mhm.
Because I like what we did with this episode. I think I wouldn't feel good. Sort of like see, there's a thing with me that I hate when directors, when people sort of like gaslight people into thinking, oh, this was like this, it wasn't like this. Like, of course, that's not the intention, but it's like sort of correcting what you made before. Like, you know how George Lucas sort of
Yeah.
like updates every Star Wars movie. I
Mhm.
hate that because to me, I feel like one should be proud of like the improvement that you make,
Yes.
the sort of what you call it, all the progression, all that evolution,
Mhm.
something that you should be proud of. So I don't think I would actually like change that fully.
Mhm.
Only the style. I would change Brian's death
Oh.
because I think that like it could leave a bigger impression on the viewer. I think when I made it, I wanted there to be like a big impression on Bond
Mhm.
specifically, and of course there is, but it's like it could be so much more. You know.
Yeah.
Three.
Yeah. I
Oh,
know.
that's a
I
more
know.
different thing. You know, I don't hate it as much as I used to. I used to love it, then I really hated it. But now I just feel like I think it just wants to do a little bit of everything, and
Mhm.
by doing that, it just sort of like holds off the important thing for like an hour. Like
Yeah.
that episode, we always made in mind with like the ghost talk to Sophie and the rocket, the rocket thing, the car crash.
Yeah. I get that.
So I think the biggest mistake was that like the whole thing about the Ed and Molly was like at the last 20 minutes of the hour long video.
Mhm.
I think if I were to remake it, I wouldn't make it cinematic. We want to remake it. We really want to remake it.
Yeah.
We've talked about like should it be like this, should it be like that, but or always our main focus is just being something that attracts the viewer to look more into the series and not drive him away. You know, because I feel like it's an episode that drives everyone away. It's like oh, an
Mm.
hour of fucking gameplay footage. But I would really heavily remake it. I think not everyone would be happy with what I changed because I think there are a lot of people that really love Bunny Farm that like see it as like the scariest one even today. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't see it, and I personally don't see it. And I just wanna, I just me and the team really wanna make a version that we're proud of
Mhm.
in a consistent way. You know?
Yeah, I get that. I get that. That's natural, though. I mean, as someone who personally loves three, like adores three, and has had many nightmares about three,
Yeah.
I personally just think that I think when you have like developed so much and you go back and watch something of your own creation, I think naturally you see little things that oh I could have changed that, oh I could have changed that,
Oh, absolutely.
and also I feel like a lot of people like say about the pacing of three, right? Like I think until you get into the Ed and Molly segment, it's like 35 minutes in when you get into like the school dance or something like that, like something around
Yeah.
that timestamp, and you're kind of thinking like, oh, there's still like 20 minutes left, and I feel like I remember when we rewatched it on the Kyle's birthday bash that stream. I
Hmm.
I remember when we got to the Edamame thing, it was paused. I was like, wait, there's still 25 minutes. I thought it was like 10. I thought it was like I felt like I think that's probably a good thing. I mean, if 25 minutes
Yeah,
feels
that
like
was a really
10.
long part.
But to me personally, I feel like because Bunny Farm is one of those episodes that is like deemed one of the scariest. I feel like that would definitely be like one of the most challenging to remake in terms of like,
Oh,
oh,
absolutely.
how do we like take this scene and not, I feel like in general, does any
Yeah, yeah.
remake has that pressure, I guess. I don't know. But I mean, personally, I'd love to see a remake of 3 in terms of like the new style and stuff. I mean, and again,
We love it.
who wouldn't want to see new stuff as well? Like, I mean, like it if it's a remake, new stuff, etc. It wouldn't be a bad thing
Yeah,
to witness.
I wouldn't even like have like big lore changes to it. I think it would be like just like sort of like a blip in the universe. It's
Yeah.
like you can consider this version canon, you can consider this other version canon.
Mhm.
It's just whichever version you prefer. If people like the original three more, they can stick with that one. If people like the new three more, they can stick with
Mhm.
that other one. You know?
Yeah, I get that. I mean, that's also cool, especially when you have like different interpretations of everything. I mean, especially like you look at the community, you have like 20 million different opinions on who's born and 20 million different
Oh
opinions
my
on who's
god,
this.
so many.
There's just so many of Bond theories. I mean, I think I myself have about 10 videos on all 10 separate characters. Like, I think I have to be right with one of them. I can 1 out of 10. Like, but I think that just in general, like, crafting a remake's always difficult. And speaking of like crafting stuff, I mean, the 5 and 6 scripts and 4, of course, was obviously the one episode, right? It was like all the one big massive episode, and naturally you had to kind of like rewrite some stuff to kind of apply each script to make sense as a scene each on
Yeah.
individual episode. But the question comes from Adam Wolf on Discord. He does like a lot of Walton Falls cosplays and stuff. They're incredible.
Oh, Ada,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
he makes some
Bro,
insane cosplays. I
they're
mean, it's
insane,
really hard
dude.
to keep up with every single person in the every single talented person in the fandom. Like, there's so many.
Dude,
But I know this guy. I think I've seen some of his cosplays, and they're really good.
oh
They're
my
really really
gosh, I
good.
should have commissioned him as a Bond suit for Stells. I was like, how much? How much? Anyway.
Yeah,
But he
so
asked
good.
basically, like, with all the rewrites and stuff of each episode, is there any character? Obviously, you don't even have to name names. You can just say yes or no, of course. If there are any characters that has like changed the most, maybe like something that like was really apparent and it was like, nah, it doesn't fit the story anymore, or anything like that.
Any character?
Yeah, there's any character that's kind of be like that's changed a lot in the rewrites of the stories.
I think we never actually wanted to fully. Oh, I mean, there's Chris. I think Chris is a good example. Actually, I think we sort of like had a lot of ideas for Chris, and we didn't know like which one would work best into what we're trying to do.
Mhm.
But I think as time went on, we sort of like started seeing like, oh, this character shouldn't be so much like related to the others, and more should be like his own character, his own motivation, and started just changing a lot
Mhm.
what he was all about.
Yeah.
I think with the rest of the characters, I think we changed how they go about their motivations or their goals or their actions. But I actually don't think we've changed any of them.
Mhm.
Like in the 6 years of the fucking series, like um, and I don't think there's any character like that we've fully sort of like transformed into something else entirely.
Mhm.
I think a good example would be Bon. I think Bon sort of like started out in a very different way how he went about his motivation, and then like we started like making more sense of it, like seeing like how how does he work? What's his logic? What's his
Mhm.
method? His way of thinking? And we sort of like started evolving that, but we never drifted away from like what makes these characters what they are.
Mhm. That's interesting as well. Like I feel like again the whole thing about Kraft and the villain is just like naturally the motive is always the most interesting part, and I feel that's for me personally. I'm honestly a part of me is more intrigued about Bond's motive almost more than who he actually is in a way. I don't know if that's like a weird thing to say, but like because naturally
No, that
I
makes complete sense. Yeah.
you know what I mean? I feel like there's something like let's say it is this person or whatever. Finding out no matter who it is, you're gonna be like, whether you know them or you don't, or whether there's a reason or whatever, you're gonna want to know. Okay, so what's the motive for that person doing that thing? So I feel like in a way, it's like how interesting is that? How what's the driving force for that? And like the best example I can give is like like the Scream films where it's like, oh, who's the killer? But like you're guaranteed to find out. But why did they do this? And it's like, is it what was the actual
That's the fun
motive?
thing. Yeah, it's a really good example actually.
Yeah, so to me personally, I'm like that's really intriguing me in a way, like especially because of how strong Bond clearly is. I mean, episode 2, clearly shows that in terms of Rose's death. So to me,
Yeah.
that's like my most intriguing thing of like the motivation behind what Bond does and why he does it and stuff like that. And like speaking of like details of Bond and stuff, is there any hidden details in any of the episodes that people still haven't found yet?
Yes. I think
Oh, I haven't done my
there
job.
are I think there are a lot of things that it's less of like, oh, we haven't found them because we didn't look hard enough, but it's like just sort of need like, I always remember Lucky You and the sort of voice going like, don't try to solve the puzzle with the pieces you have
Yeah,
so far.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think the more with every single episode you discover something new from the previous one. I feel like
Mm,
with every single new installment, you sort of get a recontextualization of everything you saw before. And I think that's a really crazy thing with 5 and 6. I think they recontextualize a lot of things that people didn't even like consider looking into at first. So I'm really excited about that.
you're making me rethink my whole channel, dude.
Hmm.
I'm like, I knew Lucky You was gonna be one of the most important videos in the series. I'm like, hmm.
Sure, Walten see.
We shall wait and see. We shall. Um, a pretty basic question here, but I always like finding out this. What's your favorite episode and why?
My favorite episode. Are
I
we
think
talking released,
that's
unreleased, or
yeah. I'm
both?
pretty sure in the previous interviews we've done both released and then unreleased, and then overall just when everything is out. I think.
I think released, it's gotta be surprisingly with time and like as time has gone on, it's gotta be episode 2. I think
Hmm.
episode 2 is my favorite episode. I think it holds like the best memories of the series.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was around the time like where it was still like flourishing as like figuring out its tone, its style, and everything. And I think episode 2 is what inspires me the most when it comes to like the sort of style and vibe I want to have with the series.
Yeah.
I think with episode 3 we sort of like drifted away too much into analog
Mm-hmm.
instead of like this more personal with a more realized identity level of weirdness. And with 4, I like 4, but I think it's more of like a thing of like I think 4 is sort of like a middle point into the old era and the new era, so it's
Mm-hmm.
just like I appreciate it for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's not 2, it's gonna be Return of the Pumpkin Rabbit. God, I love that video
Yes.
so
It's so
much. I
good.
love it so much. I always remember like when you watch it and just like that was the best one yet, and it made me
Dude,
so
yeah.
happy. I remember how much we played with you, like because this was like around the time of all the interviews. Like this is at the full craze of your interviews. So we were all like
Oh.
teasing it in our own way. Do you remember that? It's so funny.
Do I remember that? Oh, do I remember that, you say? Do I? Oh, I don't know.
So
Maybe
good.
me getting a text at like 1 a.m. on Halloween night from Eva going, hey, there's a little Walton video dropping tonight. It's nothing crazy, but it might be stream worthy. And here I am going, okay. Then it's like, because obviously the delay of the recording, I was like, okay. Or the publishing and stuff. So I was sitting there. All of a sudden, I go to sleep, and all of a sudden, 5 a.m. rolls around, and all of a sudden, I hear bzz, 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 and my phone is like literally exploding, and it's like my whole Discord is at horror dude, at horror dude, at horror dude, at horror dude. It's just Cal, and it's all of a sudden I open my notifications and I see the return of the pumpkin rabbit, and I'm like, you dickheads have
Oh my
played me
god.
like a fucking football
It's
game.
so good. I remember. I don't know if Eva told you about this because I know you interviewed Eva after the release.
Mm.
But the night of the release was so chaotic
I heard
because
something about it. I remember something.
we planned it out very meticulously. I
Mm.
think by the last week of October we were like, oh yeah, we're totally getting this on by October, but it took a little while. And we finished. Okay, so the episode, I'm using the EST time as like an estimate.
Yeah.
The episode was meant to like release in like was supposed to release around like 9 p.m. EST,
Yes. Something like that. Yeah.
and I remember I was like, yeah, I can totally get it done by then. So I edited some shots. I asked like Kyle and Coraline to animate some really really quick because we need to get it done like
Mhm.
right away. And around let's say 6 p.m. EST, the thing was already made. It was already finished, you know.
Mhm.
And then the editing thing happened, where it wouldn't let me export it in time. It took like I remember, for some reason, Filmora I was exporting it, and like the whole thing took around 3 hours to export,
Oh my god.
and it was already insane. And then I went to the old. This is a really funny story. This was the reason why we changed the VHS effect because I used to use AVSynth,
Mhm.
so I pulled AVSynth and I started like exporting the um, the full video,
Mhm.
and it took another 4 hours
Oh
to
my
export.
god.
We were going insane. We were panicking. The guys were like, "Oh my god, what is wrong with your computer?" And I was like, "I'm doing everything I can," and it was so fucking panicking. Like a lot of the crew wanted to stay up, but they couldn't because it was taking so long. I was sure that I was like, "Oh no, we can totally get it done around like this
Mhm.
time. We can totally yes, you should stay up because it's gonna be right away and everything." No, it wasn't. It was like they tried so hard to stay awake, but they couldn't. And it released around like 1 a.m. November 1st, I think. At least
Yeah.
for me.
I think it released like 5 a.m. for me or something like that, and I was like,
Though,
oh.
seriously,
No, I know you go. You go. You
though it's really funny because it's sort of like a curse with everything
go.
pumpkin ride related because the Mister's house. This is a really funny story. I was exporting the video of the Mister's house and I had an even worse computer back then. In fact,
Mhm.
do you know how in the Mister's house, like whenever the pumpkin rabbit speaks, there's like a do you know
Yeah.
what that is?
Yeah. What is
That's
that?
my computer fan. That's my computer fan.
No way.
I was recording the lines in a rush, and my computer kept like acting up. So there was nothing I could do about it. I just had to fucking live with that.
That is
So
nuts.
it was such a bad computer. So I exported it. It was like around 11 p.m.
Mm.
and I finished exporting it, and then I look at everything to make sure I can release it. I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I made it in time, and I forgot to include a credit. I forgot to credit one of the BAs. And I was like, oh my fucking god! So I had to fucking re-export everything together, and I didn't make it
Oh.
in time. It was like 12 November 1st.
Dude, I remember when like you announced that was getting a VHS release, and I was like, oh my! I bought a VHS player just to watch it.
It still hasn't arrived, hasn't it?
It has to be in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. It actually has
Oh
to
my
be. It
god!
has to be.
I'll reach back. I will reach back. I promise.
Like I remember when you text me about it, I was in the middle of watching Lilo and Stitch with my sister, and all of a sudden, I check my phone. I'm like, wait, Martin wants to send me a VHS. What? What? I'm like, yes, I don't have to wait.
What?
I don't have to. I don't have to spend money. Yay! And all of a
Oh my
sudden,
god!
9 months
It
later,
never arrived.
it has to be just. It has to be just bobbling. It has to be in like its own little thalassophobia compilation
Have
video.
you
That's
have
what's
you
going on.
looked at the Tales of the Monkey Ride?
I haven't seen any of it, dude. I have not seen
Oh
a
my
single
god!
clip, a single
Insane.
piece of audio. I think I might have seen like a piece of audio because someone remade. I think Last Coolder, who does amazing remakes. Um,
Oh yeah.
and I remember they include like, I think one piece of audio from it, but I haven't seen anything. I haven't even seen like the wolf character from like the beginning or whatever.
Yeah.
Haven't seen anything with him. Don't know what happens. Haven't seen the ending. Haven't seen anything. Like I
Oh my
somehow have
god.
managed to stay away from everything. So I'm just waiting. I'm just gonna wait here one day. I'm gonna be like in second year of college in Belgium, going. That's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna be in Belgium.
Fucking 60-year-old Carl going like, there's a package for you.
I'm gonna be
It's on the
sitting there.
Bermuda Triangle.
I'm gonna just be sitting there in my own cabin on a rocking chair. It's like, Grandpa Cal, we have a package for you. And I open it, it's just Return
We
of the
have a
Pumpkin Rabbit.
package. It's like it's been 84 years.
It's been 104 years. I finally got my hands on the Return of the Pumpkin Rabbit VH.
Finally.
It's like that one thing from like the SpongeBob movie, when like the pirate goes 2 tickets to the SpongeBob. It's like that guy's like, the Return of the VHS is
Tickets for
here.
the SpongeBob movie.
That's what I'm gonna feel like when it eventually arrives.
Oh my god.
It's probably never gonna arrive. I'm so convinced. I remember like me and the whole Stells team. Like I literally every time the VHS is brought up, Emil always goes, "Broski, that is in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. That has to be." Like I
Oh my
remember just
god. It's gotta be in the
dying.
Bermuda Triangle.
It's
It's
literally
so
in
common
there.
that packages get lost. It's really
It's
common.
it's just gone. It doesn't. It actually never existed.
It's just like a
Oh,
tax write-off.
tax right. Oh my god, it's just like they had a spare copy. They just needed to ship it somewhere. They didn't want any more. Just get put it on a plane. Wherever it goes, it goes. Oh,
Where it goes, it's gonna stay there.
wherever Walten goes, it Walten stays. There you go. There's where the VHS is. It's on its own little
And
journey.
oh yeah, and if you ask me, like, if you were to ask me right now, what I think would be like my favorite episode of like the unreleased, I would say it's a tie. It's gonna be a tie between five
Yeah.
and six. I think both. Again, I really don't want to think that we're fucking making like the next Kubrick movie or anything like that. Where we're just doing like, it's just your usual scheduled like little Walton projects.
Mhm.
But it's just the thing of like these are two of the things I've wanted to tell the most from the
Mhm.
series. So I just love both of those episodes really much. Really, I love them a lot. I think if you were to ask me right now, my favorite one has to be six. I think my favorite one has consistently been episode six.
Yeah.
But with how much we changed and sort of like fixed episode five, now it's almost like a tie. I think both bring very different things to the table, and both are equally worth watching, in my opinion.
Mhm. Yeah, I remember literally everyone saying episode 6, so it's totally not making me want to find out what's going on at all. Um, I mean, I I
Right.
remember Kyle talking about 6. I remember Kyle mentioned to me. I actually don't think this ever made it up in the interview because I didn't want to put it in case it like done anything. But I remember him saying like something
Yeah.
about a nightmare you had and you made a scene about that. I
Oh
think.
yes, yes.
No, I don't.
There was the,
I don't know if you want to
oh my
talk
god.
about it or you can if you want. It's up to you.
I mean, I will almost say that there was like there's a single shot that I remember that freaked the fuck out of Kyle because I was like, oh no, there's this time I had like a really uncomfortable nightmare. I think it was like the only time I ever had nightmare with the Walton Falls,
Mhm.
and it was so weird. It was such a weird fucking dream. So the first thing I did logically was I got up and I immediately grabbed my phone and sort of like sketched it out and then like made it into an actual shot.
Mhm.
And Kyle, the only thing he goes like, "What the fuck is that, Martin?" And I was like, "It's Kyle from a neighbor." It's like, "What?"
It's from a nightmare.
Yeah, it's neighbor. Stupid.
That's awesome. I feel like that's like the best because I put my money on it. Like that's gonna get to scare me because you know what scares me. I mean, the Buzu scene terrifies me. So like naturally, I feel like that's something that image of Buzu, like specifically the one of Charles, like he says 0714 missing that one, like with the
He's like
smile and
zero
stuff.
seven fourteen.
Like I remember that one
I
terrifying
definitely
me.
at least from my point of view, I don't think there's. I'm sorry if this is a offensive one. I just really don't think there's anything that scary in these
Mm.
episodes.
Yeah.
But I I do think that like it's much more of like an uncomfortable, disturbing watch rather than oh, this will freak me out, and every single person who watched it died and everything like that.
Yeah, I get you. I get you. I mean, to me personally, I feel like that's always been the good thing about the Walton Files. I feel like the way you have all managed the actual horror that occurs, like there's a difference. Like for obviously episode 3 is like the more analog. 4 is like a kind of mixing gateway of the two. Hotline is just pure animation and like suspense and like
Yeah.
build up and stuff like that, with some analog elements, of course, like the final shots of some sort as well. But
Oh yeah.
there's a really nice balance, and I feel like that's what makes the series so rewatchable, because you can have like experiences where you're gonna feel the analog is more scary, or the build up in like or 1 or 2 is scary. I mean, even Brian's scene, like the whole thing of like when Bond starts to glitch out and then all of a sudden the face pops up on screen, like something like that is scary to some than it would be to others. You know what I mean? So I feel like
Yeah.
the mixture of horror is really nicely done, and especially with how you said about 5 and 6 being more like the disturbing watch, gives me the vibe. Like personally, I'm way more of a like a quote unquote elevated horror fan, so like I love
Mm.
that. So I'm intrigued to see like what approach 5 and 6 take in terms of the quote unquote scary or horror that's gonna be shown. You know.
Oh, it's gonna be Walton lovely. It's gonna be
um,
Walton lovely.
I do have to ask though, and of course this can be cut out as well. How on a scale of like 1 to 10, what would you say gore factor wise for 5 and 6, if you can answer that?
Zero. I'm not. I can't answer that. I'm
That-
sorry.
that's
I
perfect.
just
That's fine.
because I will. And you don't have to cut this part out if you don't want to.
Okay.
When we were making the storyboards, I think something happened
Yeah.
that we didn't expect. I
Okay.
think on script we had like a vision of six,
Mhm.
and then when we translated it into storyboards, we realized something
Mhm.
about the episode, like something about just what goes down in it,
Mhm.
and we don't wanna overhype anything because we feel like this episode has very cool moments, and
Okay. Okay.
and I feel like I don't think they would be quite as cool if we go like, there's gonna be insane moments, and everything's gonna be there's gonna be explosions, and there's gonna be music, blasting music and everything like that. No, it's just we have we have a lot of stuff.
It's just like, yeah, Bond
Stuff
rips someone
happens.
in half. This guy gets his head
Oh
torn
my
off.
god! And then he makes a xylophone of the bonds of Charles Brooke. No, no, no!
Then
Don't quote me on
he
that.
he opens the door and you just see Rocket there with blood pouring out of his eyes. It's all
Oh
just
my
crazy.
god! Insane!
Just all of a sudden, people expect the Walton Falls to turn into like Terrifier.
Oh my god!
Oh, dude. Okay, this is actually really interesting. In terms of the showstoppers, of course. I just love to know the process of how you came up with those. Like, where you can go character by character if you want, or whatever it might be. So, like, how did you come up with the characters and overall the name showstoppers? Like, what kind of was the process of picking the right like animals and stuff like that, or whatever characters you've chosen and stuff like that? You know, what was the process of that?
Um, to me, it was well, every single one of them has like a different story. I think with Bond it started because I got when I was little, I asked my mother to get me like a toy bunny
Mm-hmm.
Christmas costume, and so my mother got my very very lovely aunt to make me a costume about it.
No
And I
way.
remember like when it was Christmas, it was more like 2014, I think. Uh, I opened my present and it was a lovely fucking toy bunny costume. And of course, my mom and my aunt didn't really know much of NAF, so they just watched Bonnie and Toy Bonnie and so like mixed the two together,
No
and
way.
so it looked like it looked like Bon, you know, it looked like Bon, and I remember like I loved that costume so much. I never was like, oh, it doesn't look like no, no. I loved it every single moment of it, and so I I used to bring it to parties. Me and my friends would play with it, and we sort of like made it into its own character.
Yeah.
You know, just like natural evolution into that. And I remember like making up like fake bands for this character for
Yeah.
Bond, and there were a lot of ones. There was one where it was like there was a frog. You had a frog. You also had a chicken and a
Mm.
bear. And there was this one idea that was like, what if this character had like a band with like a bunch of like other rabbits. So
Mm.
it was Bon, it was Bon. Then there was Vanny, which was like a purple Bon,
Mm-hmm.
and there was Rock Bunny, which was a gray Bon.
Yeah.
You can imagine where that's going, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you had Vanny and Rocket. That you had Vanny and Rocket. Then years later, when I started making Walking Bones burgers, I wanted there to be a clown section.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember you always hear like the thing of like Bosu the clown.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Yeah.
oh, what if instead of a clown it was like a ringmaster named Busu?
Mm.
So I made this sort of like ringmaster, sort of like nutcracker type of character
Yeah.
for that was just meant to be like in the entrance of it. But I kept drawing it and I kept drawing it and I kept drawing it. I was like, you know what, I want him to be I really want him to be part of the crew.
Mm-hmm.
So there he was. And I think Cha was the one that came the most late into production
Mm.
because I this is a really funny thing. Back when I was making Welcome to Bounce Burgers, for some reason I started really hating Banny, like really
Yeah.
hating the character, really hating using it. So I was like, in fact, that's what inspired me making Bon hate Banny later on, like in the show cartoons. I used to really hate Banny, so when we got to like the second act, like because instead of levels there were acts, so you
Yeah.
had act one, act two. So in level two, act two, I was like, no, I want to remove this character. I want to have someone else take the place of Banny. And
Mm-hmm.
I kept thinking like, what kind of character would it be? What kind of character would it be? And in my mind, I always wanted like a ship character.
Mm.
And so you had Bon, Banny, Billy, Busu, and the ship. And at
Mm.
first, I wanted to name the ship Belly because I didn't know that meant like stomach. I thought that was like a cool
Yeah.
I thought that was like a cool thing on like the bells that some ships have.
Yeah.
So I could have just named her Braille now that I think about it. But I didn't want to name her Belly, so I just named her Cha because of
That's
she.
awesome.
You know, it's sort of like taking inspiration on how Scott would make the names sort of rhyme with what they were
Mm.
like. Freddy Fazbear, Bonnie the Bunny, Chica the Chicken, and Foxy the Fox.
Yeah.
It's a Cha the Chick, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and after that, it's sort of they sort of like evolved. When I went to make the Walten files, I was like, because they weren't a band at first. Like those four were just completely unrelated. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they were
Yeah.
from different like eras, different things and everything. And I was like, no, I gotta condense this into just a normal band. So I
Yeah.
look at like the 20,000 different Welcome to Monster World characters, and I was like, I'm only gonna pick five of you, and I just picked the most memorable, which were like Bon,
Yeah.
Bani, Billy, Busu Cha, and and Rock Bunny, which was like this big animatronic, like the rest evolved into Rocket.
That's awesome. I mean, especially because like when you go into when you actually look at the Welcome to Bond's Burger stuff, then of course you see like TVA who showed up in Serious House and like all these different characters that like show up in other projects that
Yes, there
eventually
was so many.
like then obviously TVA was like cyber telly now, and you know I'm assuming like that's kind of like where that came
Oh,
from.
Cyber Telly.
We
Yeah,
love cyber
absolutely.
telly. We love him. I love Cyber Telly's plush so much. By the way, that plush is amazing.
Oh, I love that plush. I always funny anecdote. We had that plush. So stupid. So around like 2023 when I got that plush shipped to me,
Yeah.
I I remember like when they were playing with my little cousin and
Mhm.
the plush got stuck in the bathroom light,
Oh my god.
and we fucking were like, oh, we can't take it out unless we fucking dismantle the whole bathroom. So for like 4 months, that fucking plush every single time we went to the bathroom, there was a fucking plush in the light. Stuck in the light, just looking down at us. And I still remember that every single time I had to go to the bathroom at like 3 a.m. when working the series. I remember having that fucking plushie look down at me,
You just like it's like
judging
the
me.
Lord and Savior of cyber telly just
Yeah,
looking down upon you. It's like I provide the
fucking judging me.
Walterness of thee, just judging you.
Oh my god.
Oh, dude,
Yeah, I love that plush.
those new plushies that like were. I remember you like posted a community post like had all the plushies laid out. Bro, I'm
Yes.
making sure I get every last one of them. I do not care what it takes. I need all of
Oh, but
them.
you're Walten money.
Who cares about Walton money? Money comes back. Walton plushies don't. As of right now, they don't.
Yeah, so right now they don't.
As of right now. Make ship if you're still watching, you know what to do. Sorry, anyway. Had to channel my inner
Oh,
Boozu from the newest plush
makeshift.
video. From 14.99.
Makeshift.
Make ship, you know what to do.
But yeah.
You'll make a lot of money. um, but yeah, like I think in general, like obviously you know my favorites, Buzu. You have you. I'm assuming that Bond would be your favorite of the Showstoppers. Then I would assume. Maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think I love. It's just the thing of like they're like my children.
Yeah.
When you have children, you don't really pick your favorite. It's just like, oh, I love
Yeah.
them equally. I love
That's
all of you equally.
that's fair. Have you got a least favorite? Bunny.
There's a running joke in the team. No, no, I really like Bunny. I think Bunny's like one of my favorites to draw.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a running joke in the team that I hate Billy because I never draw Billy. Like every single time, I often exclude him off the drawings. I often like just completely forget to have him.
Yeah.
So it's just a thing of like I don't know. It's just I don't hate Billy, but he's just really hard to draw. So
I get that.
I just don't have him around that much that often, you know.
That's why we gave him his own section in Stells. We wanted to give Billy the love.
Oh my god, it's just he's
We-
so hard to draw for me. I don't know why.
That's honestly fair. I mean, I think naturally as well, like consistently drawing the same character over and over again, I'd imagine that just gets tiring at some points. Like, you
Just
know,
a tiny bit, yeah.
just a tiny bit. Oh, but yeah. I mean, speaking of like drawings and like the scripts and stuff, have you grown any attachment to like some characters in the process of writing scripts? And like, if you have, has that influenced how you've written those characters?
Absolutely. I think when you write these characters, it's hard not to sort of like get attached to them,
Mm-hmm.
especially because like you write them every single time you write something, it comes from like a personal point, and
Yeah.
it comes from like your own knowledge of things and how humans act and how humans react and everything like that. That just made me sound like a sociopath, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And fucking, it's like there are moments where you I don't know. It just feels like something bad. At least for me, it's a thing of like something bad will happen to a character,
Mm.
and you know that you had to set that in stone, but it just has like a
Yeah.
sense of finality to it that just really gets to you. I mean, there's a scene in these upcoming episodes, not the one we're working on right now, one scene we already finished,
Mm.
that I couldn't get myself to finish because in a sense it was like if I finish it, it means that what happens in this scene is set in stone
Mm.
and the damage will be and how the damage will affect the character.
Yeah.
And I just grown so used to this character that I couldn't get myself to do it. It happened to me with Bonnie Farm back in
Mm.
2021. It was so hard for me to get to edit the car crash scene
Yeah.
because I had grown so much to hearing Ed and Molly and just figuring out how they would be and just always remembering all the little kids. So when I was working on like the car crash scene, I was like, these kids are gonna die,
Yeah.
and it's like, and it's not gonna be a cinematic, cool, badass death like the others. It's gonna be a tragic and depressing moment, you know.
Yeah.
And it was first of all like just treating that with the utmost respect. You know, you don't
Mm-hmm.
want to have like the mutilated corpse of Ed and
Yeah.
Molly just like flashing on screen. No, you don't want to have that.
Mm.
But it's just a thing of like, I don't want these characters to die. I don't want bad things to happen to these characters because it's so unfortunate, it's so tragic, and it really gets to you. But it's like, but it's the series that it is. It's what you want to do. So it's like, it's so like putting down a dog. You know, it's just like you know
Yeah.
it's necessary for whatever reason, but it really hurts you. You know.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, that's the same with like any sort of writing as well. Like For me, like obviously not Walton related or anything. Like obviously, like with film school and stuff, like we get writing tasks all the time. You're in film school as well, right?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, I'm from
Yeah.
school.
So like like you're like yeah like you have to like write a screenplay or whatever, and like I remember like we had a task and like they were like, oh, write it on a personal experience and stuff, and I'm like, oh
Oh yeah, they
no.
always do that. It's so
I
unfortunate.
I'm just sitting there like, oh, this is either gonna be one of two ways. I don't go personal enough, or I go way too personal. And I
Yeah.
fear my most recent one I went too personal. Hey, but I got the full marks. I passed, great, it worked. But
Oh, that's lovely, lovely.
I'm sitting there
Congratulations.
writing it. I'm going, why am I writing about this? I'm like, oh, it doesn't feel right that I'm doing this story. Like, it doesn't feel right, and I feel like in ways it almost gets you like to kind of claw it out of yourself, like, cause you know in the end it's gonna benefit the story or whatever it's gonna do.
Yeah.
Like even when it's like you need to get over something and like help in any ways that you can, and like obviously like writing down stuff really helps me get over stuff, you know. And so
Yeah.
you know that's going to be a huge benefit, but when you're writing it down and you're seeing it from another perspective, you're like, oh my god, this is so tragic, and it helps you see it from another perspective. So like for example, doing a like the car crash scene, literally the scene that one starts off the whole series in such a tragic way, and like
Yeah.
making sure again, like as you said, like that it's not just like in your face. Like you don't want to have that, like because I think that's just distasteful in a way. And I would imagine that was why the scene in episode 4 is like one, like 2 frames, and it goes off. You know what I mean? I would imagine that was probably why.
Yeah.
Um, but like
I
that
just, I
scene,
just,
yeah, yeah,
it's just really. Um, I agree. I think it's also just this sense of like saying goodbye to something. I feel like those are the hardest things to make. We were talking about that earlier, like ending something. The moment that you know, like this is the last time a character will appear. This is the last interaction a character will have. It's just a thing of like saying goodbye to something and just letting go of that. It's really hard. I feel like that's something I've been thinking about a lot when storyboarding these things because of course we still have to draw it and everything, but it's like this is essentially the episode, you know? I
yeah,
mean, we have to draw it and everything, but it's like this episode is drawn, this episode is essentially edited. This is the end, you know, this is the end of the season.
yeah,
And that really gets to you, the saying goodbye to these characters and just like thinking about like all the effort you put into making the story feel alive, and it's just you put so much personal feelings into it that it really gets to you when it's time to say goodbye, you know?
yeah. That's completely natural, especially when you put so much effort and time into a project as like what you've done with the Walton Files, dude. Like completely just as like person to person, like the effort you put into this series is incredible, and like I've said that to everyone whenever
Thank you
like
so
it's
much.
like this isn't like a thing of like, oh, it's like you're such a big fan of Martin, so you're saying this. Well, yes, I am a big fan of you, of course, but like it just as like a person, I know it's very difficult to like create stuff when everyone's kind of like watching you, and you're kind of thinking to yourself like, okay, how do I make this project the best it can be while also having to deal with whatever
Yeah,
is going on. But you've smashed it, dude. Like you really, really have. Like
thank you so much. It really
I
means a
like
lot.
of course, dude. Like this is just purely honest, and I've always thought that whatever the Walton Falls has produced has always been to such a high standard, and like with people saying, okay, episode 3 drags, but like yeah, but that's the most basic argument, or like whatever you could say about the project. If something drags or is too fast, if that's mostly all they have to say, that's probably the best sort of feedback you can get. You know what I mean? And with everything, like even with however the projects have been delayed or whatever, we all know it's for the better cause of the series, and the series is gonna be incredible because, like, I mean, like we've seen the proof is in the pudding with every other episode. So naturally, you have absolutely smashed it, and like the team has done so incredibly well, and like
Thank you
you
very
know what I mean.
much. It really
So
means a lot.
of course, dude. Like, and then I mean, it's inspirational for me personally. I mean, even when you let me do the Stells project, I was like, oh shit, okay,
And
nice,
it's
yeah,
looking so good. I really love how it's looking.
yeah. Like it's just like even like stuff like that of like, damn, okay, like I'm allowed to do this. And then of course like being in Hotline, like you coming to me and going, hey Kyle, you want to be in Hotline? I was like, well, obviously I want to be in Hotline, you know. And to me personally, when a creator reaches out to someone is like so cool to me, where it's like in other fandoms you might not get people who like get to interact with like the people who make the series or whatever, but you and the rest of the crew are so interactive with everybody to where it feels like
And
the Walton
everyone's so
Falls. Yeah,
kind. You guys are always so sweet with us. You guys are always so
yeah,
understanding
exactly.
with us. It's just the best bunch of people I could ever ask for.
Exactly, dude. And like that comes all from how you and the rest of the crew have crafted, you know what I mean? And that's a completely props to you because like I mean I wouldn't change what I've done on YouTube for the world, dude. I don't care if like my channel is specifically Walton Falls related. I don't care. I absolutely love every video I've made on the series, and I mean I know that week of 5 and 6 is gonna be the most hectic week of my life in terms of making videos on them, so I
Oh, it
can't
will be
wait.
chaotic. It will be chaotic.
Oh, dude, I think like I literally said it to people. I'm like, bro, if there's lore drops in 5 and 6, I'm gonna be like editing for hours. Like, I'm gonna
Oh
be
my
sitting
god.
here like making video after video, going, okay, does this tell us what happens here? I'm like, oh no, it's gonna be a nightmare, but I cannot wait for it.
I'm so excited for you guys to see it genuinely.
But yes, this question is a little interesting. So
Oh,
as the series is coming up on 5 years, roughly, is it 5 or 6 years old?
almost
Five,
6 years. Yeah.
almost six. Where do you see the Walton Falls in 5 more years?
I see a very changed series. I think I wish I could say like in these 5 years we've done so much stuff, but it's more of like a these 5 years have helped us a lot more into like learning how to actually make a series
Yeah.
rather than making the series. You know, like learning what works, what doesn't, what we should be doing.
Mhm.
And I think we all agree that once we have these episodes out of the way, it's just up to us to restructure everything in a doable way because even if we're super proud of these episodes and what they convey and just everything they do for these characters, we think that there's like a big point about just it cannot go on like this. Like we can't like develop like an episode every 2 years. I mean, we totally can, but it's like we don't want to work on this series for like the next 20 years either. You know.
Yeah.
So to us, it's like in 5 years, I like to think that we have a lot more stuff figured out. I always strive to improve. I always say this with the utmost honesty. I don't think it was the best director and manager
Mm.
of the series back in like 2020 to 2021. I feel like I made a lot of poor decisions in how I handled the series, how I treated my team, and I always strive to improve. And I think in 5 years, I hope I can be an even better director. I hope I can improve a lot more. I hope I can be a lot less stubborn. I feel like that's a really I am a really stubborn person with what I make, and I just
I'm the
hope that there's a
same.
lot more people in our team helping us out and a lot more fun and happy experiences, and hopefully another season
Mm.
being fully released at that point. You know, like a
Yeah.
season two. Just and I hope that in less than 10 years we can probably wrap up this series in the way we intend to. You know.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. I mean, I feel like just in general with projects or specifically series and stuff, I feel like it's naturally very difficult to kind of go, yeah, it'll be done in 5 years. I think naturally it's difficult because yeah,
Absolutely.
because
Have you seen that photo of like the Walten Falls plan and it's like season 1 2020,
I
season 2
was literally gonna
2022.
bring that up with you. I'm
It
not even
makes no
joking.
sense.
I bookmarked it before I literally called you on Twitter. I
So funny.
bookmarked it because I was like, okay, don't forget this, because I think if I grab
Like
it
it
on
was gonna be
Twitter,
done at that time.
it was like something to do with
That's stupid.
like by 2022 or something. It was like season 1 finale or something like that. And I just remember looking at it, and I remember there's like a poster that was never released as well, or something like that. For there's like a blurred out poster. It was like Walton Webb posted on Twitter, and I bookmarked it. It was like the obviously the original Bond poster, like the side Bond's face, like used for the soundtrack. Then there was
Yeah.
obviously the kind of floating head poster. Then there was a poster that was completely blurred, and then there was the last poster. I was like, I wonder if
That wasn't
Martin
even made.
knows that poster. Like if that's still a thing. I don't know. But I just remember it saying like season one finale or something, 2022. I'm like, oh damn, damn.
Goddamn.
But I think roadmaps are always difficult though. I feel like roadmaps kind of like
Yes,
they
absolutely.
shove you into this like corner. You're like, okay, here you go. This is what you have to do now. It's like,
It's really to me. I feel like we've sort of like set a very curious precedent in the way that people, a lot of people just look at stuff like, I don't know, like Gravity Falls, for example, series that have everything sorted out since the beginning,
mhm,
and think like, oh, we need to know every single thing from the beginning. Like, I appreciate that, but I think it's very different. I
mhm,
think when you make a series, you really want to like try to get everything like very meticulously planned and properly sorted out and everything. But it's always prone to change, and you shouldn't reject that change. I think a lot of people wanna so like automize through the whole process and just know when everything's gonna happen, how everything's gonna happen. But when you make stuff like this, you start learning more. You start like making changes and making modifications to what you originally had intended, and that's inevitable. You shouldn't work against that because I think roadmaps sort of like put a lot of pressure into us that isn't that necessary. You know?
absolutely, absolutely, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
I I've come out and said that I think Stells is the most stressed I've ever been on a project. I think ever. Um, like
Same.
it's just I'm like we're in the edit and I'm filming, and I'm just thinking to myself but like is it good? Like is this good? Like are people gonna like this? Like is this gonna be good? Is like and then of course like naturally just in general like there's obviously this pressure of like okay people have trusted me to do this relax. And I'm just like, it's like,
Oh
you
my
know, like the
god.
devil and the angel on each shoulder. It's like, no, it's going to be fine. No, it's terrible. It's going to be fine. You know what I mean? Like half the time, that's just what's going on in my head
Yes,
half the
just
time.
like trying to make every person feel happy with like what you present. Make every try to make everyone happy, but it's just an
Yeah,
inevitable thing that you
can't
can't
occur.
do everything. I
No.
mean, you can do anything, but you can't do everything. You know?
Yeah, exactly. I think no matter what, people are going to be like, it was okay. Like, it's like, I think inevitably,
Yeah.
I think I said it to Coral at one point, like, when eventually, if or when, like, the reveal of Bond happens, like no matter what you are going to have people who love and find it so cool and you're going to have people who go oh that was a bit predictable or you have oh what was that? No matter what whoever it is you know what I mean you're going to have those answers and
Yeah.
I feel like that's of course that would be something that would scare me personally in like a project of this sort like of like okay how do we of course we're not going to please everyone but how do we get to a point where we can kind of make it make sense and make it like an actual
Yeah. Of
valuable
course.
payoff in a way. You know, I feel like that's a very difficult thing to kind of manipulate of a character as well. You know.
I think that's why, at least for me, I've never. You know, something really funny is that I never try to do plot twists
Mm.
with my series. I really hate plot twists actually. I don't know if I
Mhm.
ever talk about this. I hate plot twists because I feel like people fundamentally misunderstand what doing a plot twist means. It
Mhm.
means a lot of compromise, a lot of dedication. You can't just like sort of like trick the audience into thinking something else and go like, "Ha, I tricked you." It's like
Mm.
to me, every single revelation in the series I try to do naturally, not like how can I make this in a way that will surprise the audience and be this big
Yeah.
moment, but rather just how would this be naturally presented in the series.
Mhm.
And thus, like, I don't even because I think a lot of things about plot twists is that you don't get to properly explore those reveals before revealing it because
Yeah.
you're working so hard to surprise them. To me, it's more like I don't want to compromise my story for the sake of making something that maybe isn't even surprising, you know. So I just
Mhm.
have it be natural. I just want to sort of like everything evolve naturally instead of like being like, no, I can't do that because then people will think this or that. Instead, I just make it flow the way it should flow, you know.
Yeah. Complete. I mean, naturally, like, I feel like if like the whole thing of compromising, I feel like if you run the risk of like, again, I'll go back to Scream films. Of course, there's six of them now, about to be
Yeah,
another one. But like, naturally, you have each of those films where it's like one of them's like, oh my god, that reveal is so cool, and then it's like other ones like that is the stupidest reveal and most obvious reveal I've
yeah,
ever seen, and you're kind of like, I wonder what would happen if they just didn't do that payoff and kind of went from the start. You know what I mean? And so I feel like if you run the risk of doing that, of course, you kind of run the risk of doing a huge reveal of a series again that won't be very satisfactory, and that's obviously nerve wracking and
yeah.
like
Of course.
scary as well. Especially when it's something as big as Bond, you know what I mean? Like it's Bond. It's nothing like it's not like oh this meant this or whatever. It's like no, this is the main person, that everyone
The main
knows,
character. Yeah,
So I mean, personally, I wouldn't fucking play with it. I'd be like, yeah, straight to the point. Well, we have whoever it is, we have it, we have the motivation. Let's go. you know.
yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah,
So that's personally how I would go about that. But I would just be too scared. But again, like this is kind of interesting. Like obviously the series has gone on for so long, and obviously you've developed so much as a storyteller and animator and filmmaker. But how do you feel about how large the series has gotten? Of course, like you mentioned, like naturally the whole thing of like, oh, the community and stuff like that. But of course, it is a very big series, and I mean, you have Dawko reacting to it, Matt Pat. You have those
mm-hmm.
huge
Yes.
names. But in general, like, how does it feel that like a series you made 6 years ago almost has like gotten to this level?
I think at first it was something that really scared me. I gotta say, I think when it first blew up, because I never go about things hoping for them to be the most popular thing ever or anything like that. I think everything about the popularness of the series sort of just came naturally. I remember one day, because it wasn't like it blew up one day or another. I remember the only time I ever actively like influenced it was when I just commented on Sagan Hawks' video once.
Mm-hmm.
Not in the sense of like, oh, make a video about me. It was more like, hey, look at this that I made, because he was the one that made me look at the FNAF VHS videos. It was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I know you like this. Maybe you would like this tiny series. And he made a video about it. And I remember like, it was like around May 2020
Yeah.
when I saw that he made a video about it. I was like, oh my fucking god, what? And so that was sort of the start of everything. And then like it sort of like started coming down a bit
mm-hmm.
until like in May 2021, I got a DM on Twitter, and I was like, nobody ever sends me Twitter DMs, and it was fucking Game Theory,
Oh
and I
my
was like,
god.
what? And it's just like they mentioned doing a theory on my series,
mm-hmm.
and then like a month later there it was, and I couldn't fucking believe it. And that's what it's also like blowing up, and it got like really, really like um really I got really sort of intimidated by how big it became,
Yeah.
and that sort of caused me to like in 2022 to sort of like back away from everything because it was just a little too much.
Yeah.
And thankfully after that it sort of like started calming down a
Mm-hmm.
little more, so like just became its own like regularly sized fandom, and that just made me a little more comfortable again.
Yeah.
I don't That is not to say that I don't like that the series blew up. I think a lot of people, a lot more talented people than me would wish for this sort of like attention for their stuff, and I genuinely hope they get the attention they deserve.
Yeah.
A lot of the times I think of like, why me? Why specifically me? What did I do that other people didn't?
Mm-hmm.
You know, what makes me deserving of this much attention? I always try to live up to that many people supporting this,
Yeah.
and I just think despite taking so long, despite like the hardships that come with making something like this, I can be more grateful
Mm-hmm.
that people are so invested in it. Even today, I think this is a very loyal fan base. I think these people always sort of like always stick around and just appreciate what they make, and it just feels really rewarding, at least for me.
Yeah. Absolutely, dude. I mean, if it makes if it makes you feel any weirder, you're basically the equivalent to my game theory when you messaged me that one time. So there you go.
Oh my god, that's insane. I
like
never thought about that.
no, like literally, I just remember getting tagged because I think it was you and Kyle run a Twitter space at one point, and you obviously mentioned Jamie L, who I love. We love Jamie, and
Jamie also really fun person. Yes.
I remember you going and you were like that horror dude, and I was like, no fucking way.
Oh my god.
And I was just sitting there going, I'm pretty sure I still have the file on my on my files on my PC, and it's just entitled "Pinch Me." That's all the screen recording is called, is "Pinch Me," and it's so strange now where it's like, well, first of all, like someone who's gone from literally just sitting in a little caravan on a holiday, rewatching game theory and the series over and over again to try and make my own little theories, to now someone a few years later who's in an episode. You know what I mean? Like to me, like that's crazy to me.
Insane.
You know what I mean? And obviously the fact that like just casually, I can just go, "Hi, Martin," and you'd be like, oh, "Hi, Cal," and it's just casually. You know
Yes,
what I mean?
like
You know what I
the
mean?
Walton friendships we make along the way. Yeah.
Literally, and like to me, like even just in general, I'm so grateful for how you and the team have treated me because, like, in general, I just like making the videos in the series. And of course, I am just a fan of the series. But like in general, yous have all been so kind to me. Like even the whole thing with the interviews after Coral done theirs, and it was like, oh, who should I interview next? And every single one of the team commented, and I was sitting there going like, holy shit, like like this is awesome, you know. And you've all just been so welcoming to me as like a person in different projects, whether it's the
Yeah.
series or streams. Like even fun fact, every Stells call we have when we're making the project, it's referenced on a daily basis at the when the Kyle stream, like the bash, the birthday bash charity stream, where you and Coral were screaming like, "Get Cal, get Cal, get Cal!" Like
Right.
like
I
I'm just
remember
sitting
that.
there, like I'm just sitting there going like, this is so surreal. Like I have people saying like, get him in the car now. I'm like, what the fuck,
Get him now. Oh my god.
and like it's just so wild to me. And like just as a person, I'm so grateful for all the opportunities I've gotten from yourself and the rest of the team. It's just incredible. And this question's a kind of a cheat for me. It's a kind of a cheat question. But I've always wondered, just in general, as an honest opinion, what was your
Mm-hmm.
kind of first reactions like Stell's footage? Like obviously I've shown you the Billy footage and more recent stuff, but like in general, what were like your honest things about it?
My reactions to me, it was like I always, I don't know. I I watched it and it really watched me with a really heartwarming feeling, which is I always sort of like look back at my time when I was first a really young sort of baby FNAF fan
Mhm.
back in like 2014, and we all wanted a movie. We all wanted a movie. I don't know if you remember that. We all
Yep.
wanted a movie so
Oh, I
badly,
remember. I remember,
and
dude.
I remember like I would look at like fan projects, fan films of FNAF, like those like really
Yeah.
um early fan films, and I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. And it's just looking at this, it's like I feel this doesn't hit me like oh, I'm the creator and this looks this looks like this looks like that, this is lore accurate, this isn't. I feel like another Walton House fan that would love to see this in live action, and when I look at this, it's so much better than I could imagine. Like it's just really good. It's really good. I really appreciate it, and it's just really, I really love everything about it. To me,
Yeah.
it's like uh, I think anyone, it's just the biggest honor to think, because I study film too, so
Mhm.
I know how much work, excruciating work, goes into going into the location, finding the proper outfits, finding the proper sets, the proper props,
Yeah.
everything. So just to look at someone doing that much effort for something that you made in like 2 weeks in 2020, it's like that's the biggest honor that you could ask for. Genuinely,
Yeah.
it's one of the
Dude,
best memories I have of working in the series. Is Stells.
Oh,
looking at it.
don't say that, dude. Don't say that. You're gonna make me cry,
It's
man.
just, yeah, it's just a lot of wonderful stuff that every single one of you make. It's like it's a very similar to a feeling to when I watched like you remember the Wicked Makers thing with the bond
Yes.
animation. It's that sense of like honor of like I can't believe someone enjoys what I make this much to do something like this. You know,
Mhm.
it's just
Like,
lovely.
dude, that's incredible. Like, I mean, just in general, like the Walton Falls again, as I said, like offered me so many opportunities, and I felt like with me being in film school, obviously you know how competitive it can be in film schools with like people and so like how people can create and create, but naturally, like I mean, there's a very big statistic of like oh how many people actually make it in industry or whatever, you know, and
Right? Yes, yes, yes.
naturally in my head I was like kind of thinking I was like what's going to differentiate me from anyone else in my course. Well, first of all, I am obsessed with a series and make YouTube videos on said series. So why not use the knowledge I have of that series and make a film about it? But
Right, you already did your own research. Insane.
not just that it's a feature. Like the film is around an hour and 10 roughly,
Oh my
possibly
god.
longer. And I'm like, okay, surely that's going to differentiate it. And that's why I'm so grateful for being allowed to do the freaking project in the first place. I'm like, it gives
Same
me
here.
this sense of joy of actually wanting to create something because like naturally I want to have a sense of freedom with filmmaking, and the fact that you allowed me to do it is just means a lot to me personally. So trust me, dude, it goes a lot further than you can possibly imagine.
So happy. So happy about that.
Okay, so we're going on to the final two questions, and I don't know. I think we kind of have already answered this one, but we'll go over it anyway. But
Yeah.
in general, over the years, how have you gone about crafting Bon as a character or Spirit Bon, however you might want to go about whatever's easiest to answer, and how you've kind of dealt with his motive for future episodes? Is there any like inspirations or whatever that kind of influence Bon?
I think there's a mountain of research and inspirations that we've done for this character.
Yeah.
I think nowadays, well, I have Eva's help, which is greatly appreciated. I have the rest of the team who helps me in a lot of different ways.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just the input of Kyle, Coral, Rollins, Crystal, Izzy, Peter, Anastasia, Goromu, Pietro, and a bunch of other people that help
Yeah.
me with Walten Friends and Associates. They help me with everything we do.
Yeah.
And they all give me their input into what they think, into if it makes sense. I always try to, we always try to make sure it makes sense the way he acts, the way he behaves, and
Mm.
at least I read a lot of I read Zodiac to sort of like
Oh, dude, it's
understand a lot
such a good
of. It's a
story.
really good book, and it's just there's a lot of inspiration on fictional characters. We have I mean this is my inspiration. I know the rest are like as heavily inspired in this, but there's a lot of inspiration in Riddler for
Mm.
Vaughn. I think the way he speaks, the way he acts is sort of like person that clearly isn't naturally intimidating, but
Yeah.
it's just sort of like amateurish sort of vibe to them
Yeah.
that make them look intimidating. I read a lot about the Zodiac killer,
Yeah.
the way he went on about like, of course, all due respect to every single victim, you know, I always treat this sort of like real, not inspiration, but the real research
Mm-hmm.
with a lot of respect. I never try to sort of like romanticize anything this guy's doing because they're just horrible, horrible people.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of inspiration and not inspiration, but like research on real killers. Like I think some that I could actually mm, fucking get stand reading was the Zodiac by
Yeah.
the book by Robert Graysmith. You get a lot of insight on like just the way these people don't really do these things because it's evil. They do them because it makes sense to them. Like this sort of like really psychotic sort of like horrible actions in the way that it makes sense in their minds. It's not like they think that what they're doing is nonsensical. It makes complete sense in their mind.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I read a lot about uh, I read a lot about Hannibal Lecter for the role too,
Yeah.
even though it's not a big as big of an inspiration. But I love those books, The Red Dragon, Silence of the Lambs, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of inspiration on cult leaders too. I think not anyone in particular, but just the way, the psychology behind cult leaders, the way they manipulate people with their charisma, the way they make people think this, think that, that type of thing, and
Mm.
also lots of inspiration in I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. I feel like
Yeah.
Am is such a big inspiration, not in anything he does in particular, but it's just like this sort of like embodiment of resentment, embodiment of hate, complete, utter, unadulterated hate
Mm.
that just lingers on within this person. Just a lot of that, a lot of emotions about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
I
think those
mean,
are a lot of
yeah.
inspirations, and to me, with these motives, to me and Eva, we just search for complete perfection in these motives. Like, hold on, sorry,
Bless you.
just complete like, sorry, complete precisement in what he does. We don't make him do anything unless it makes 100% perfect sense for him to do it. I think the only time we've actually just have him do something for fun, no other reasons, in Hotline
Yeah,
when he scares David. But even then, I sort of like add some sense into it, but it's not something that anyone would catch unless they watch a lot of stuff that was released after 5 and 6.
I get that. I mean, in general, you can kind of see those motivations in four. You know, I feel
Yeah,
like that whole conversation with Susan. By the way, such a well written scene as dialogue. Like, oh my god, that scene is so well written.
it took
Cause
us a while to write it. I think it was like around. I'm gonna ask you something, Cal. When do you think we wrote that scene? If the Walten Files were released on January 21st, when do you think the scene was written?
do you know what's funny? I think I actually know the answer.
Yeah,
I think it's like the week before it released or something. Because I
the
know
week
this.
before that. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Coraline mentioned it that like that scene was animated like the night before four came out, right?
yeah, the night before it came out. I mean, not the night before.
But like somewhere
It
along
was like a
that.
week before, but it's like the night of January 31st.
That's
I
insane.
remember that, and I remember like I remember being like so picky about it. I remember I showed it to Eva when Eva
Mm-hmm.
started helping me out with Bond because Eva wasn't as involved in the character until I asked her to uh, voice Bond because originally I wanted Bond to be a text to speech voice, and when that wasn't working, I wanted Bond to be like a sort of like a mix, a sampling of words of different like 1950s songs and recordings,
Mm-hmm.
mixed into lines, and that was just so complicated. And then I don't know if you've watched Windy Bros like Walter Foss fan series.
I am actually in the process of about to watch it. Did I make a video on it? So that's my pro. I haven't
Yes,
personally watched it
they
yet.
actually pulled it off. They actually pulled off like the sampling of the Bond voice. So I'm really happy to have seen someone else do that. But no, it wasn't working for me.
Mm.
So I told Eva, "Can you do the voice
Mm.
for Bond?" And she immediately was like, "Oh yeah, I can totally do that."
Mm-hmm.
So I sent her the script, and she was like, "No, this isn't working. This is too," because she had a lot of knowledge into Bond and how he would act and everything. I was like, "This doesn't feel like something Bond would do. I don't think this is the way Bond would act." So we rewrote it, I think, 2 times,
Mm-hmm.
and we finished it off like a few days before we started animating it. So that I'm really happy about that.
Yeah. I mean, to me, okay. So like to me, there's two scenes in the whole Walton Falls that are, as a filmmaking standard, incredible, like absolutely outstanding, and that is one, of course, the Susan and Bond conversation, and then the Felix scene on the cliff. By far, my two favorite like wow scenes, like unreal, and like when you're talking about your motivations for specifically the Susan conversation, is like what comes to mind
Yeah.
is like this whole thing of like a Bond feels to me like he's saying, take this present, you're already suffocating, so your choice. You're already dead, your choice. You know what I mean? Where
The
it's
the false sense of like choice,
mm-hmm.
I think again, that's something And it wasn't an inspiration back then, but I read it a lot while working on 5 and 6. The whole thing of like how specifically people, master manipulators, cult dealers, people like that, always sort of like have this thing where they make you think that you have a free will when you really
Mhm.
don't. That make you think that you have your choice. It's like oh, I want you. It's like if I want you to pick red, I'm gonna be like, oh, you can pick red and blue, but it would be more convenient if you picked red.
Mhm.
We don't know what will happen if you pick blue, so but I know that if you pick red, it's gonna be good for you. So again, your choice. It's just that sort of like manipulation of like, oh, it's your choice when it really isn't.
Yeah, absolutely. And like it gives like the sense to Bond of like it feels like yeah, Bond's not actually doing anything. It's all Susan. Bond hasn't done a thing. Like as like that's why it feels like as this like
Oh my god.
manipulation of just like getting Susan under his like control almost, and like of course the other scene I mentioned, the Felix on the cliff. I mean, dude, that not a single word of
I love that
dialogue,
scene.
not a single word, and you just understand everything. You know everything that's going on in that scene.
I
It's
love that scene. It's so funny because the reason that scene had no dialogue was solely because Coker wasn't available,
wow, that's
and
interesting.
I remember yeah, he left the project like a few months, no, like a year before that, I think.
Mhm.
And I remember being like thinking to myself like, well, how am I gonna add a new Felix scene if I don't have a new Felix actor?
Mhm.
And so I thought of getting a new actor and just like having him do lines. But then like Eva, Kyle, Caroline all said to me like, no, this works perfectly without lines.
It's
And
amazing.
I was like, yeah. I originally I was gonna have him scream before he drops to the ground, but I just like the silent nature of everything that happened.
Yeah, like even you have like the sound cue of like in like just the subtle sound cue that's going on because like it kind of gives you the vibe like okay we're in his head and like
Yeah,
there's so much going on but there's so little going on at the same time because you have that shock factor he's still in and like
yeah,
personally I feel the way you've wrote Felix in this series is so interesting and I'm very intrigued to see what the future holds for that character because to me he's the most interesting in terms of what's to come out of him and like in general I think that'd be really cool to see how he is portrayed in terms of like this really just incredibly disturbed person, and
yeah.
I'm just looking forward to seeing what the future holds for him personally. I think he's such an awesome written character. He's so cool.
I love Felix. I we've had to change 2 times the voice actors
Yeah.
for him. With Connor, I'm so glad I still love Connor. He's such a great guy. Everyone who's watching, please go check out Super Brothers, which is made by Tim Noki, directed by Connor. It's just so lovely, such a lovely group of people. I get to meet some of them from time to time, and he's just the best dude. And when he read the episode 6 script, he noticed a lot of things in the character, and he decided it wasn't for him, and he treated it with such a respectful, such a wonderful and respectful sort of manner. And of course, we didn't make a big thing out of it. We didn't want anyone to think we had any type of trouble. We still talk. We
Mhm.
still everything's good between us, and I loved his version of Felix.
Mhm.
And yeah, he moved on to his own projects, and hopefully, we really hope we can get him a speaking role in any other scene or episode because he's just the most talented dude ever.
That's
And
awesome.
then after he left, we got a new voice actor, which I can't say who it is,
Mhm.
but I really think this is sort of like the perfect Felix voice. I think
Interesting.
there's not much difference between Coker, Connor, and this new voice actor,
Mhm.
but I think both Coker and Connor helped this new actor perfect how he goes about the character, and it's just my favorite rendition of the character ever. It's just insane range. Some of the best. I gotta say, every single voice actor in 5 and 6 gave some of the best performances I've ever heard.
That's
Insane.
so
It's just
cool.
they've all understood the characters. They've all give it their all, and it's just insane performances that just have deeply touched me on a not only on a directional level, but it's just like they stick with me. I when I draw these characters, I always imagine their voices, their renditions of the characters. I just lovely, just completely lovely. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I think naturally the series is kind of not only like the animation, but like it's kind of carried on by voice acting. And I'm just gonna say it right now. Your voice acting in that episode 3 scene of the phone calls, dude, insane. Love that scene so much. I'm
I
obsessed with
still
that
think I
scene.
could have done a lot more, a lot better. I think it's sort of like one of my dreams that I put to the side to be a voice actor, to probably even work on radio or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I just focus more on like you know what I actually love doing, which is
Yeah.
filmmaking and series. I think I could have done a lot better with Jack back then. I think you can sort of like tell that it's a younger me. That's like
Mm.
a really
Yeah.
much younger version of me, deepening deepening his voice so it sounds more intimidating. You know,
Jack is
I think it's so
intimidating.
funny. He is intimidating, yes. So I think now you can sort of tell that I have much more like the voice for it.
Yeah.
Even in 2024, you can still feel a bit of like youngness to it. I think now I've sort of like managed that sort of like more growly sort of voice for him
Yeah.
because we've all gotten older. I mean, it's been 6 years since I started like recording lines for Jack, so
Yeah.
you can
It's
imagine how that's
crazy.
going. Um, but yeah, no, it's just um, I'm just gonna look at the team to just mention every single person who works on this. Just Crystal, Coraline, Connor, Jalen, Kyle, Peter, Anastasia, uh, Eva, Easy, uh, just Kennedy, this new voice actor that I can say, and Michael Vale, all of them wonderful, insane voice actors, just insane, just the most unique performances I've ever heard, an insane cast, and I really think this episode wouldn't be as good without their voices in them. I
Mm-hmm.
think they make the episode. I think the heart of the episode is in the way these people just completely embody these characters. It's like, oh my god, you need to listen to the voices because it's like they get possessed by them when they perform as the characters.
Bro,
Insane, just
you have
absolutely
no
insane.
idea how much it pains me that I can't hear them. Yeah, I'm like literally like itching. I'm like, oh my god, I really want to hear them so bad.
God, it's just insane. It's insane.
I'm literally sitting there like
I'm gonna get
the.
it done soon.
I'm literally sitting like Peter
I
Griffin in the
promise.
Stray Jacket. It's like,
But
give
I
me the
want it
what? But I want
now.
it now. But I want it now. Oh, dude, like, oh, I cannot wait. It's just gonna be so cool, and I can't wait. Like, I mean, ah, dude, it when it comes out, bro. I'm so excited. I'm so freaking excited.
God, I'm
um,
just really excited.
Speaking of, obviously, this is like one of the last questions, so don't worry.
No, don't
uh,
worry, don't worry. I can. I'm happy to answer any question you have.
this is from Marco. One of the he is also starring in Stells. He plays Chris in Stells. Funny enough,
Hello, Marco.
he says that if you were to go back to like your younger self when you were kind of just developing the Walton Falls, what would you kind of say to yourself? What would be your advice for your younger self in a way?
I think my advice would be I need to be a very responsible creator. I feel like I needed to understand a lot better what it meant to have people want to work with me. I need to understand what it meant to have people supporting me and my project, and to be a lot more careful because I'll just say it right away. I genuinely think I wasn't the best manager back then. I think I just hired anyone who said they wanted to work with me, no actual background check and everything, and that was really dangerous when you think about it. And so
Yeah,
I just know how to handle your series, know who to properly hire, who to work with, and everything, and just enjoy the process. I think a part of me was just really um sort of like didn't really know what to do, and I should have told myself that it's okay to take your time to really understand what you're doing, to really understand what you want to do, because back then I just really wanted to get it all like done right away, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's sort of that, and also to value every single friendship I have, because I still am so grateful by the people that I met back then when I was younger
Mm-hmm.
and that stuck around, like Eva. Insanely grateful for Eva, insanely grateful for Coral, for Kyle, for every single one of them. If I don't mention one of you, it's probably because I'm just a Walten stupid. But I genuinely, every single person that has helped me in this team, I'm insanely grateful for. I couldn't ask for a better team to work with.
Yeah. I mean, hey, the proof is in the pudding with how good the series is. So the team works well. That's the main thing that
They
like it
work
really
so good.
shows.
They're so talented.
So this is actually the final question, which comes from Emil, and this is something that I'm actually really interested in as well. In terms of specifically Rosemary in episode 3, with that wretched smile scene that I don't know how you created. And it's more like how do you create those faces? Like what comes to mind that you like what's your thought process when drawing those or editing those like pictures and like kind of in a way like showing how these horrific murders take place and like what the outcomes are, etc. Like, what's your thought process and the creative process of that?
Yesterday I went outside to go and smoke a cigarette. I
Mhm.
never actually like I never smoke cigarettes. I don't like them. But
Mhm.
sometimes I do them when I'm very tired or work has me a little bit stressed.
Yeah.
So I just went outside and I went like I don't like smoking with my family, so I went outside like really secretly. It was like 3 a.m.
Mhm.
So I snuck out and I sat down and started smoking a cigarette. And then I was petting my dog who sat next to my lap, and I sort of like look to the entrance of the house, like the glass sort
Mm.
of like door. I don't know what you call it in English, like the sort of like sliding doors,
Yeah,
those.
yeah.
And I see the creepiest fucking smiling face in the corner of my eye.
Oh
And I
my god.
look back, and of course, there's nothing there. I just made that up.
Yeah.
But it's just that. That's just the thing of it. It's just those moments. They always come in those moments, like at night, when I just think, where when your brain goes like, you don't even have to think anything specific. It's just like your brain goes like, what is the creepiest thing that could pop up right now?
Mhm.
I used to have a lot of troubles
Yeah.
sleeping late at night. I wasn't easily scared by anything. I don't think anything horror like particularly scared the fuck out of me ever.
Mhm.
But I still was a very paranoid kid. I remember I couldn't sleep with the TV off, and I always had trouble sleeping in my room because I was scared of the dark. And
Mm.
every single time I went to sleep with the dark, my brain would just make up the scariest fucking thing I could imagine.
Yeah.
So to me, that was like, what makes you uncomfortable? And I think the thing that's important when making horror is that you don't try to rationalize it. Because when you try to rationalize it, it's not scary anymore. Because the scariness of something is not knowing what will happen, not knowing what it will do, not knowing what it will ensue, not knowing what it is. When you try to like add logic to it, it's just not scary anymore. I think a lot of the times I'm brought back to whenever I work late at night. I love working late at night. I usually sleep in the day and then work at night,
Mm.
and I storyboard or I edit, and I just hear like the sounds that I add, and I just imagine like, oh my god, just the creepiest of faces,
Yeah.
the type of faces that would creep me out. And of course, I can't fully replicate it because you can't replicate what's on your mind.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it's just a thing of like, I see it, I see those things that sort of like faces, and like it's just um it's always something that I know will freak me out.
Mm.
When I always remember back when in 2024, early 2024, when I was working on the series, and I had to like turn my back to the door back then because of how my room was set up, and it was like I work a little
Yeah.
and then I look back, then I work a little, then I look back, then I work a little, then I look back. It's just a thing of like, I am a scaredy cat. I admit it. My girlfriend, my lovely girlfriend, shout out to her. she always makes fun of me, and every time we meet someone that knows what I do, she goes like, "Do you know that Martin gets scared when working at night because he's scared that something will pop out?" And it's just, oh my god, I just, I'm really am like, I'm not scared of horror movies. I'm not scared of like horror media,
Yeah.
but it's just like I am scared of stuff. I get scared
Yeah.
of like the stupidest sort of shit, just making stuff up in your mind and just stuff coming up into your head.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the fear of the unknown is something that like I love. I love that. Like I love when it's just kind of like no payoff. You just kind of let your brain wander, and it's obviously going to create the scariest
Yeah.
thing possibly imagine.
I mean that is fear. The fear is not knowing. The fear
Exactly.
on the unknown is fear on its
It's,
own. It's
it's
insane.
literally that's
Do you want to know
exactly
a
what it
really
is.
funny anecdote?
I do.
I remember uh, there was this one. I think one of my biggest fears is someone breaking into your house.
Bro, I literally had a
I think
conversation about this. Yes. Okay.
it's insane, right? It's insane. Like I am extremely paranoid about people breaking into my house,
Mhm.
especially because it's a little bit dangerous in Chile. It's not as dangerous as people say, but it is dangerous. And so whenever I go to sleep, I always have this particular image that comes to my mind of like someone just entering into my room unprompted, and just
Yeah.
staring at me. And that is like probably one of the things that scare me the most, like
Mhm.
out of anything. And so it was, I want to say, around June, May 2025, when I went to sleep and I had that image pop into my head, and I had YouTube Premium. So I was
Mhm.
like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to put a YouTube video and sleep to it. I haven't done that in years. The first thing that pops into my recommended is an interview with Coraline from that horror 101. So I go, well, this will do. I'm gonna try to sleep listening to this. And I couldn't sleep, not because I was scared, but because I kept trying to listen to what you guys were talking about. I was like, oh, that's true, or oh, that's not true. And like just listening to like the fucking conversation, so I couldn't sleep. I had to put on another video because I was too invested in the fucking interview.
How have I never known this? How have I
This
never?
is my tiny Walton anecdotes, I guess.
Dude, I'm so confused. I hope I never found that out. Would have thought like Coral would have told me that or something like that. Or, I don't know.
I didn't tell Coral. I was just like
Oh.
I it's just like I couldn't sleep because I was scared thinking about like that image in my head. So I just put that video, but then I couldn't sleep not because I was scared, because it was like listening to this as an active part of the conversation.
Yeah, yeah,
Being
yeah.
like, what? Coral told Call this? What? This little stuff.
Cal knows who Bon is. What? How? No.
God knows who Bonnie's what?
How did he find
Insane.
it? How did he get access? Oh, dude. Oh, I fucking love this team so much. These are the best.
There's a lovely team. Like, again, all the people I mentioned, there's also Rollins who helps out like with the drawings and everything.
Mm.
Rollins is probably like the most accurate fucking person that can replicate my style. I've never seen anyone replicate it so good. I've known a lot of people have replicated it, but it's just the way Rollins does it. It's like he understands how the style works really well.
Yeah.
Um, Eva, it's a great. She's a great writer, insane writer. I gotta say, you
Mhm.
have Kyle, who helps me animate, who helps me like sort everything out. So it's always my go to when it goes to like, if I want to make this, how do I go about it? If I want to make that, how do I go about it?
Mm.
It's just stuff like that. Um, Jacob, we have, do you remember Jacob Woodson, who helped us uh make the music for Walter Plus
Yep.
3 Wonderful.
I do.
He made some of the most insane soundtracks for 5 and 6.
Oh,
I just
dude.
can't wait for you guys to listen to them because it's insanely talented people.
Mhm.
Every single one of them. Every single one of them.
That's awesome, dude. I'm so excited for the music. I'm so excited for that music, dude.
Yes, yes.
But yeah, that is all the questions we have, dude. That's everything.
What?
That's everything.
That's all?
That's
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 everything? Not a
it's
single Walton question more?
it's Walton questions over. It's all
The
over.
Walton question is over.
Oh,
So sad.
it's so Walton sad. It's so sad.
I'm so sad.
Bro, it's weird how episode 4 is coming up on 2 years old now. Literally in the next
I
week.
can't believe it. I swore I could get this done by then, but it's just life gets in the way, you know.
Dude, don't be
I
putting too much
think,
pressure on yourself.
yeah, no, absolutely. I think as you get older with this type of stuff, you sort of realize that it's just a series. It's just a funny
Exactly.
FNAF ripoff, if you think about it. Like, I never
Fuck's
considered it a FNAF
sake.
ripoff, but I love referring to it like that. It's just a really fun way to look at it. It's just, I think it's a thing of like people can wait. Just a lot more fun stuff out there. There's a lot more series out there, and just the way everything sort of like starts evolving. There's been so
Yeah.
many new series going out. The way analog horror has evolved. I couldn't even call it analog horror anymore. I think it's just a made up concept. I think it's just internet horror.
Yeah.
The other day I was watching Lacey's Games,
Oh,
I think
dude,
it
those
was.
ones are crazy.
I Oh my god, it's such a good series. Lacey's Games. You have well, one of my favorite was Fazbear Toddler Fun. I watched the ending of that.
Yeah.
1976. Huge shout out to 1976. I'm so
Mhm.
glad that you actually watched it.
I know. I
And
can't believe I
just
hadn't seen that before.
it really brings you the calm that it's like every single series will have like their 15 minutes of fame. I think I
Mhm.
already have mine, and from now it'll just be what it is now, and that just brings me a lot of like relaxation that people enjoy this stuff when it comes out, and when it doesn't, it's a smaller fandom, but it's a lovely fandom filled with talented people that enjoy what we make. It's just
Mhm.
really fun, and I just like I think as much as it's taken a while, I really think you guys will have a lot of joy and fun with this. I think if you guys are having like breadcrumbs right now, I would say like this is a proper meal. I want to say this is like a king size buffet, not like that, but it's like you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get you. I get you. I'm actually really excited to see if there's any like Fine Jack Walton updates in the future because I really enjoyed the AOG
We
side.
have updates planned. It's just that we hadn't had time to like properly
Mm.
develop them because we've been busy with this episode. This episode have taken our
Naturally.
full attention. You know, Brian is fun.
Yeah, Brian is Bond, Chad. Brian's Bond. Brian's Bond. But yeah, that is everything question wise and stuff. So, is there anything you want to say to everyone watching before we wrap this up?
I think well mainly that I know that I still have a long way to go with my series. I still have a long way to go with these episodes. But these have been in some insane years. After I can't believe like the last time I did an interview was like a month after World of Us 2. It's been insane years where a lot has changed. I met a lot of good people and met a lot of bad people. And it's just I always try to look at the positive. I always try to look at the what we've made as a team and what we made as a fan base. And I feel like I've never seen so many people just enjoy what I make and just be so accepting of every single decision I make in this series, so accepting of every single change I make. I'll always look back. I remember around 2021 where I was having a lot of like monetary issues. It was a really bad time for the economy, I think, because of
Mhm.
the pandemic and everything. And me and my family were going through like very rough moments, and so I opened the Patreon and I didn't release much. I didn't get to make much of it, but what I did make, people were grateful for, and I was able to get through the year with that money. It
Mm.
really helped us get out of a really tough spot that we were dealing with years, and those sort of things. The fan art, I look at every single fan art. I save every single fan art. Um, Fan projects, Stells, for example. I just the fan made stuff. You know, Pietro, who's doing After Hours,
Yeah.
insane stuff. It's just like an honor. I feel sometimes I don't feel worthy of this much love. Uh, but I always try to look at this as um, not my achievement, but an achievement as a team, an achievement for every single person who watched the series, every single person who got invested in it, and every single person who's helped me work in the series. I feel like it just feels rewarding to see people love this and people understand what we're doing and just accept it. I love that people have accepted us and given us this much, like this spotlight to do what we do, and we just hope we don't. We really pray we never disappoint you guys. We really do. I think that it's inevitable that sometimes things happen. Sometimes life gets in the way. Sometimes different visions clash and everything. But it's just we always strive to put on a great show. You know.
Yeah, for sure. And you succeed in that. The show is always the best it possibly can be. Trust me, you're smashing it.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
So yeah, that I'm so grateful for the you coming on, dude. Thank you so much.
I'm so
It's
grateful for the opportunity.
This was a lot of
So
fun.
lovely.
This was so much fun. I had a lot of
Yes.
fun. So thank you so much for
So
coming
good.
on, Martin. I really appreciate it. And for
It was
those
lovely.
for that, it was amazing. It was so Waltonous. It was so Waltonous.
It's Walton, yeah.
So thank you everyone who has watched the whole way through. I hope you have enjoyed the little Waltonous chats we've had here, all the little
The
things
Walton
of lore
crowns.
drops, all the backgrounds of everything of how stuff was created and
Insane
everything.
low drops.
The most Walton lore drops of all time. I mean, we found out Brian is Bond chat. There you go. There's your answer.
No, that was off the record.
Oh
Brr.
no!
But yes, I'm so honored to have been here.
Thank you, dude. I appreciate everyone who has watched the whole way through. Thank you so much for watching. We're like a few hundred subs off 10,000 subscribers, so if we could hit that in the next few weeks, that would be
Get him to
awesome.
10,000. Get him to
A
100,000
hundred.
subscribers.
If I hit 100,000, dude, I wouldn't even know what to do with myself. I really
If
wouldn't.
anyone here loves the Walton Fast, subscribe.
Subscribe. You see that button down there? It says subscribe. Just
The
absolutely.
button's down there. Look, look, look. You're looking. You're looking. You're
Yeah,
looking.
you are looking down that button, and you see that you just get your mouse or your finger and you just
Just
click
click
it.
it. It's
Just
not that
click it.
hard.
It's free. It's Walton free. It doesn't cost
It's
anything.
Walton free. That's better than free.
It's
Walton free.
exactly. It's more free than Walton. If it's Walton free, it's even
It's a
more free.
free Walton with it. Yeah.
Exactly. So, and rumor has it, everyone who subscribes, a cookie appears at their desk. Rumor has it. That's what I've heard. That's
Rumor
all
has
I've
it.
heard.
We're not confirming anything. It's
I'm
just
not
a
legible
rumor.
or at fault for those who may not receive a cookie, but yeah. Thank you all so much for tuning in to today's interview. I hope you have enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe. Go check out the Walton Files if you somehow haven't already. I don't know why you're stuck through 2 hours of this interview. If you don't know what the Walton Files is, I don't really know.
I just click here. What do you mean?
But go check out the Walton Files and be sure to check out 5 and 6 when they drop. Go check out all the other fan projects that might exist in the Walton Files fan base because there's a lot of really talented ones out there. So definitely go check them out and show them some love. So thank you all so much for watching. Have the most amazing day, and as always, stay safe and peace.
Hooray!
First shot of this episode. Tammy picks this house.
Oh, what about that one?
Now, if you ask me, that is the worst house you can pick. It has wallpaper on the outside.